Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Broyans Farm. I wanted to turn the water on here in the high tunnel, and I couldn't believe, I think these are a lot bigger than the ones up above. And they were planted at the same exact time. Tomatoes look awesome. Just look at the clusters hanging on these things. I mean, there's 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, there's like 13 or 14 tomatoes just right there. And that goes for every single plant. So just imagine, as long as I keep doing well and blow up to get big and turn red, I mean, there's gonna be some serious tomatoes in here. But so right now, everything's just building pressure. Once these drip lines fill up, then what's gonna happen is underneath this entire row, if you haven't been keeping up with the videos since the beginning, there's that drip line underneath right next to the tomato, and it's just emitting water. It's dripping and dripping and dripping. And then it comes out down here just so we know when it's full. And to make sure there's pressure, you can actually see the hole right there. And it will let it on for an hour or two and let it slowly water. That's the best way to water these. Not washing all the nutrients out, just giving them a good drink and then shutting it off. And probably we'll do it again tomorrow because these plants are so big and it gets so hot in here that they need a lot of water to, you know, not only grow the plant, but to make those tomatoes get huge. And of course, I gotta show you guys my pap's garden. It's actually doing really well. Looks like he even threw some banana peels in here. I think they're supposed to be good fertilizer. One of his peppers already has a baby bell pepper on it. Tomatoes are looking awesome. This tomato right here, I actually planted when we planted the high tunnels, which is when we were still getting frost. Can't believe it made it through, but I guess because of the house, you know, it kept it from laying down on it and it survived, and it's actually doing better than ever. So I see he's got tomatoes, peppers, that's actually a sweet potato, and then over here he's got a bunch of turnips, or not turnips, radishes. Sammy and I just got in here to the high tunnel. She's laughing. And so we tied these, how long ago, Sammy? A week? Maybe it was longer than that.
No, I think like 2.
Anyway, wow, look at the size of this tomato. This is the biggest one in the high tunnel right now.
Oh my gosh, that actually is. Let's see how big it is. That's my hand.
Don't hurt it. Oh, so anyway, we tied these 1, 2, 3, 4 middle rows. We left the ends because for some reason they don't grow as big ever as the middle rows. I'm assuming it's because the water seeps in and depletes the nutrients, but I really don't know that for sure. But regardless, we have to tie them one more time. I think the rest of these rows and the lower high tunnel are done for good. Oh, that's exactly what we don't want right there. But I'm going to, wow, there's the first red one. But I'm gonna go over these and check them out and see, because like I was just showing you, this is what we don't want to see. This is meaning too many tomatoes and not enough string. We might have to go along the top of these again just to keep all these tomatoes in, because they are just loaded with tomatoes. But first things first, we're gonna start out here on the end and then we'll go from there. So we just got done with half of the first row, and I can tell you right now, it is bad. You can see how Sammy is picking up like half the plant. We didn't really realize, it just kind of, you know, slipped our mind. We were going to market, getting stuff planted, and we just let it go. And obviously we should not have done that. Now we're kind of paying the price, but the main thing is the tomatoes are not broken, snapped, cracked, anything like that. They're just hanging over. So we're trying to fix them up as best we can, as gentle as we can. Or really, it's Sammy. I'm just kind of holding the string. But like this one right here, she's pulling up off the floor. She's gonna get under it nice and low. And if we have to go over them again, we will. We're gonna make it right. The guys are in the greenhouse. You can hear them yelling.
They're singing.
They're having fun. Here's another one. She's gonna fix up. You gotta imagine all those tomatoes is creating a lot of weight. And without that bracing of the string, they're going down. Oh, Sammy, that one just fell down again.
I know, I gotta pull this tight.
Next job Sammy and I are moving into is covering the zinnia patch out here with fabric. We're definitely not gonna plant today, but before the weeds start growing up any worse than what they are, which isn't too bad, we want to get this covered so that way they can't grow. And then as soon as we're ready, we'll cut the holes and plant the zinnias. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. That way you can see what we do and more of how we do it. The fabric we're laying down is the same fabric we lay down for our high tunnel tomatoes. Really nice, heavy and thick. No weeds are coming up through that. And I didn't actually plan it, but when I made this plot, it came out to be 30 foot almost exact. And once this is unfolded, it makes 15 feet. So 2 of them works perfectly. And so hopefully we have enough. We have 3 rolls. We're just gonna kind of piece together, hopefully, to finish off the rest of this. Sammy's just going along the edge now, getting the staples in. That way the wind doesn't get up under it, because we don't need that blowing out onto the highway. And that's it. All right, I think we should unravel this, staple it before the wind gets under it, and then we'll do the next one. So we can actually take this now and it'll double. Just getting down here to the greenhouses, and as you can see, they are just about finished up. And then over number 2 here, it's the same exact thing. My sister is getting married, so I think these are for her bridal shower, and all these are for mom for her planners, I think, that she wants to make yet. One lot of snapdragons. I think she wants to take that one out to the farm market. And then everything down here is our cabbage for the field, which is our mid-season patch. So the retail part of greenhouses are now officially done. Now it is finally time to move into the veggies, which we've already been, you know, getting ready for the past couple weeks, actually months. And so it's kind of a really good feeling. You know, we had an awesome greenhouse season, so thank you if you came out and supported us. Probably, I would say, just about one of our best. We had almost nothing left. We threw little to nothing away. And now the next thing on the agenda is gonna be getting these peppers in the ground. We haven't had rain now in quite some time. And so we're trying to actually wait till we get some moisture. That way, you know, it won't be so dusty working the fields, and, you know, it'll just be better for the plants getting them into the ground. The good and bad part is that today is basically our only chance of getting rain for like the next week and a half. So if we don't get this today, well, then we're gonna have to start irrigating probably tomorrow. But in the meantime, before that rain comes, I know Dad's working in the fields. We just about got this truck ready to go as far as like unloading from plants. We got to take it over to the barn yet, which Sammy should be here in a couple minutes, and unload all of our racks off of the back. I just got backed into the barn. These are the racks. We used to try and use these for veggie market, but we found out palletizing everything makes it so much simpler. And so I'm gonna take off these 3 and then these 2. We always leave one right here in the back. That way we can just put all of our supplies on it, basically just like we did for plant market. And then we'll come through with our blower and blow all of these petals, dirt, debris, whatever it may be, out. And then we might even run the hose and kind of give it a little bit of a scrub down just to keep it nice and clean. Before we put them back in the barn, which are gonna go back there way in the corner, we're gonna blow all these off as well, because they're the same way as the truck is. Sounds like Sammy found the blower. What's the battery at? What's the 2
batteries on it.
What? 2 bars?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So you can blow these ones off over here. Here, you want to give it to me? I'll do the top first, and then.
I can't reach up there.
How'd you just do that?
I don't know.
Sammy just got her hair caught in the fan motor.
Ow.
Wow. That's a knot.
No, don't do it.
Do you want me to turn it back on?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just run it right through.
Ow.
I've never seen that happen before.
The first for everything, apparently.
She got one shelf done, and this is what happens.
It's like I've never used them before. Okay.
Now it's going into a ponytail.
A bun.
A bun. Here they all are, safe and sound. I think there's 6 or 7 altogether. And then, like I said, we left that one on. The only problem we have in here is obviously the birds come in. We can't really keep them out. And so what we're gonna do is throw like a big tarp over them, just keep them nice and clean until the next season. Alrighty, so all the racks are off. Now it's time to start cleaning. Got a little broom here just to get the grooves if something doesn't come out with the blower, but I wanna do most of my work with the blower if possible. Obviously that'll make it a lot easier. I pulled the truck up there for Sammy to get the truck cleaned off. I'm gonna actually head out to the field now. We're supposed to be getting that rain like I said. So Dad wants me to cultivate the onions before hopefully that comes. Open the petcocks there, and we get one on the other side. And I think we're ready to go. These are up in the air. Try the electric start, but I don't have a lot of faith in it. Nope. I don't think the alternator is charging the battery. I think if we had a stronger battery, it would do a lot better. So we're gonna resort to what we always do, and that is gonna be bump starting it. Oh boy, she's ready to go. I always get nervous because, well, you really only have one shot. You want it high. This tractor has low and high, and then has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But like this is what the bottom one is 1 and 3. So when you have it in low, it's 1. When you have it in high, it's in 3. 2 and 4 is low 2, high 4, and then low 5, high 6. And the bump starter, I guess you want it as fast or in as high of a gear as possible. Oh boy, we stopped moving. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. Whew. Okay. We were just about to the end of the hill. Oh, I gotta set my petcocks off. So then once you get her going, you gotta come around and shut these petcocks off. I only had a little bit of room left. I tried it like 2 or 3 times, but we got it, don't worry.
No, hon. Lily, stop it, hon.
What a menagerie. I had to quit cultivating the onions because it started to rain. Was trying to back it in underneath that lean-to that we have. That way it stays dry and it's up on a hill so we can bump start it. Well, because I was going up the hill, I accidentally stalled it. Then had the biggest pain in the entire world trying to get it back started. Like, I'm talking major problems. As you've seen, Sammy was videoing Dad and I just doing laps around the farm, trying to bump start it. I found out that what we usually do is bump start it in high 6th gear. Well, maybe, I don't know what happened, but we tried putting it in 5 low and bump started right away. fixed the entire problem. We changed the spark plugs, you know, we were looking everything over, and there was really nothing wrong. So now I gotta put away. I was gonna go back out and cultivate some more onions, but it's starting to sprinkle again. They're calling for another decent rainstorm around 2 o'clock. And so I figured I'll just let that go for today. Maybe I can do that again tomorrow or the next day, depending on how much rain we get. And I'm gonna meet Sammy out at the farm market and we're gonna start planting zinnias. I think these are at a perfect height now. They're not long and lanky. And the roots are nice and filled, beautiful white, nice and healthy. I don't know if we'll get them all done today, but we'll at least get a good start. I want to kind of plant them all at the same time though, that way they all start blooming at the same time and they look really pretty. All, or just about all of the field sunflowers are starting to poke up through, which is really nice. Even if they're not out, you can see the ground or the dirt starting to poke up, meaning that they're coming. We've been working out here now for around 2 hours and we are a little over 3/4 of the way done. We have 3 rows left. We're just starting on one of those 3. We went through like 3 or 4 flats of zinnias already. I think we have 6 or 7 flats, so we should be fine for plants. And it's actually going really well. The only problem I'm seeing is that the ground is extremely dry, and so some of them are wilting, even though we did water the plants. Hopefully though, within the next hour, we're gonna be getting rain and it will water them in and they'll come right back to life. But if not, we're gonna have to get out here right away and water them. Preferably, I'd like to use some fertilizer water, kind of like how we do with our plants when putting them in the fields. But, you know, that's an ideal situation. At least for now, I just wanna get water on them so they don't die. We're doing 34 to 36 inch spacing between rows. And then between each plant, we're doing around 14 to 15 inches. That way it gives them enough room to grow and, you know, really expand and get to their full potential. Also, if people want to then come and pick them, they can hopefully walk down through the rows. But the only thing that happens usually every year is the zinnias get so big, they actually grow into each other, so there really is no walking around. But I mean, that's really not a problem. It's really nice to see them that big. And then like I said, from the highway, which is Route 93, people can see them and they usually stop in and tell us how much they love them. So I've already got my first hole marked right here. It's at 1 foot. Then I'll come down to 2 foot 2 inches. And I measure off the other row, like I said, 34 to 36. That is 35 right there. Back this up. And I would say right there is where I'm gonna make my hole. My knife's getting dull from hitting all the rocks, but that's basically it. And then I'll go down through the entire row doing that. And then Sammy comes on behind me with the zinnias and puts them in the ground. Nothing really needs to be perfect, but we try and do as nice of a job as possible because a lot of people are going to be seeing this. Not that they really care how straight our rows are. If you can see here, the ground is just very, very dry, which we haven't had rain in 2 weeks at least. It's the next day, so we actually ended up getting rained out. We didn't get to finish those zinnias. We're only like a row and a half away from being done, so we're gonna finish that up later on, which is only gonna take about a half hour. That's what I'm calling it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work.